Here's a question. Do your kids know how to swim?
Good question. Now's the perfect time to teach them. If not, Dan Drew joins us live from the Starfish Swim School with more on this. Good morning, Dan. Very important stuff you're talking about.
Well, you are absolutely right. Everybody should know how to swim, but let me tell you something. It's the #1 killer between kids 0 and 14, accidental drownings. Most of that could be prevented by teaching the kids to swim. Now, what do they do? Swim like Mark Spitz? Just dated myself doing the backstroke? Well, that's cool too. But Ann Scheidler, who's an RN and a swimming instructor at Starfish Swimming School, says that, and she's right here, teaching survival's key. What do we mean by survival versus swimming?
Survival means that if a child fell into the water, that they are either can swim to a wall or ledge, or if they're too far from that they can get on their back and back float for safety and getting their breath.
And that is the first thing that you teach kids here. And it's very important, right? Because that happens a lot. We're going to do a little demonstration right now, Ann.
Right ahead.
Where's Victor?
Oh, Victor, we got Edie right here.
We got Edie, right, this little girl right here with the goggles. Now, wait, before you do it, what are we going to be seeing here? What are you going to see?
What we're showing is that if she fell in or jumped into a pool or someone pushed her in, that she could come up and get on her back and back float. Okay. Edie is 2 years old.
All right, here we go. She's going to do it right now. See, now, as a parent, I'm watching this going, uh-oh, that's a little unnerving to me. But she jumps up. And
there she is. She's coming up right on her back where she can maintain a full back float.
Now, that is not instinctual. That has got to be taught to kids. And so, in other words, if that poor little girl, boom, is in a pool at a party or whatever.
Mom turns her head for a second.
That's right. She'll know to go on her back and float, which equates to survival.
Survival, and gives them time.
Yes.
That if a parent turns their head and they turn around and the mother's in a pool with multiple kids, you can't watch them all the time.
Well, that story happens every year, and I hate to say it, and we hate to report on stuff like that, but it does happen every year. So that's very important. That's key. Information. Where do people need to go for Starfish?
SwimDenver.com.
SwimDenver.com. You're a no-nonsense swimming instructor person. Hey, here's another thing. Mike and Mel, as I toss it back to you, wherever you get your kids, wherever they're learning to swim, here's something you might want to ask the instructors. Do you ever do a test for the kids when they're in full clothes, no goggles, in the pool? Will they be able to get out? That's like a test. They don't teach them that way here, but that's a test like, oops, because your kid's not going to fall in the pool with goggles and a swimsuit. Chances are he or she's going to have clothes on. So interesting to know. Very important stuff.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, because as you talk about, as we run all these stories on these things happening every single summer, Dan, that's the situation a lot of times, is they're fully clothed, and the kid's going to be freaked out in a situation like that, and can they remember what they learned in swim class?
Well, if they're not taught, what they'll do is panic, and panic happens when you don't know what to do. If the kids know what to do, they won't panic.
Hey, Dan, we got a few seconds real quickly here. How long did it take for that little girl to learn to go on her back like that?
If she goes every week, once a week, every week, probably a month, 2 months, about 2 months to get to that point. Of course, it depends on the kid. Some kids learn quicker than others, but you'd be surprised how quickly they do learn. All
right, good stuff. Hey, thanks, Dan. Next hour, Good Day Colorado is starting in just a moment.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Let's celebrate.